In the offseason, with Giannis in mind, the Toronto Raptors had to let Serge Ibaka walk free in free agency and join the Los Angeles Clippers. And they replaced him with Aron Baynes and Alex Len, who have been very underwhelming to say the least. So, how badly do the Toronto Raptors miss Serge Ibaka, and how important was he to the team that was so successful last season? Let's get into it. Welcome to MHR Sports. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is the channel where you get NBA content with a focus on the Toronto Raptors at least 4 days a week. So if it is your first time hearing me today and you like what you see, you want more of myself talking about the Toronto Raptors in videos just like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Show your support. Join the movement of the channel. We give you some game reviews about Raptors games, and we present our opinion on topics concerning the Raptors just like this one here. And today's topic is Serge Ibaka. So he left in free agency, and we replaced him with Aron Baynes and Alex Len. And, I'll be the first to admit that when Serge Ibaka left, yes, it sucked, but I knew that replacements were available. And if we had to lose anybody that was hitting free agency like Fred VanVleet, I think that Serge Ibaka was the best one to let go. Not that I wanted to let him go, but I think that was the best one out of all of them to let go. And knowing that there were replacements on the market, I thought the Raptors would still be okay without Serge Ibaka. And when they signed Aron Baynes, when the Raptors signed Aron Baynes, I was over the moon. I was ecstatic because I thought that was the perfect fit for the Toronto Raptors. And, I'm here to say how wrong I was clearly about that decision, because Aron Baynes has been completely awful and has not contributed to any of the success of the Toronto Raptors. And it's very, very painful to see this happen, because Aron Baynes last season was a guy who produced results and helped the Phoenix Suns win basketball games. Like last season, Aron Baynes especially thrived in the absence of DeAndre Ayton after his 25-game suspension for PEDs. Aron Baynes last season averaged over 11 points per game on 48% shooting from the field and 35% shooting from three. So very efficient numbers for a guy who could spread the floor. And, it seemed like a match made in heaven at the time. Aron Baynes to the Raptors, because the Raptors like to run pick and rolls. Aron Baynes statistically thrived in the pick and roll last season. So I thought that, Malachi Flynn, Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry playing in the pick and roll with Aron Baynes was going to be a formidable play, a formidable partnership we would have seen. And also Aron Baynes, a guy who can protect the rim on defense and the other way gets his points to the rim and can also spread the floor and hit threes at a very good rate. Above 35% for a big is completely fine with me. That is exactly what you need. That's the plateau you want to be at. So where did it all go? I have no answers. Aron Baynes, I thought that initially maybe chemistry was the problem, but even on defense, he looks like an absolute shell of himself. His footwork has been pretty bad at defending the paint, not getting his blocks, not getting rebounds, which is very concerning. That's just the one thing you have to do if you're that big and you're not producing on offense. You have to get your rebounds on defense, but still wasn't even doing that. And I have no answers for why he is producing results like this. So yes, I was completely wrong, but the statistics of last season favored a very formidable relationship between the Raptors and Aron Baynes. Now, Alex Len, initially Alex Len, as soon as he came in, I knew Alex Len was going to be probably the third choice center. You had Baynes as your number one, Boucher coming off the bench, and Alex Len was going to be there when Boucher was sized out of some games, like we saw against the Philadelphia 76ers. Alex Len had to come in because when you're defending Dwight Howard and Joel Embiid, Chris Boucher just simply isn't big enough to handle that. So Alex Len, I'm not going to fault him too much for his bad performances. He's not supposed to be the guy getting minutes, because Aron Baynes is supposed to be that guy, but he has been so pathetic and underwhelming on the basketball court that we have to play Alex Len even more minutes, that we have to start Alex Len in back-to-back games. Over the last 5 games, Aron Baynes and Alex Len have shared 62 minutes combined. 62 minutes on the court where they have produced one total point on 0 for 10 shooting. In that time, they also only have 12 rebounds and only have 1 assist and have a combined plus-minus of -29. So when Aron Baynes and Alex Len are on the basketball court, bad things happen for the Toronto Raptors. And, Chris Boucher has been phenomenal over the course of that stretch. However, he can't match up against the other teams, true bigs like a Yusuf Nurkic, who got injured in the first quarter of that Portland Trailblazers game. When we're playing an actual big, Chris Boucher is going to get sized out. Therefore, we need actual size, and the Raptors really need to make a trade happen in that category. Now, moving on to the Serge Ibaka aspect of this. How badly do the Raptors actually miss Serge Ibaka? Well, it's pretty clear that they miss him deeply, and they miss him heavily. Serge Ibaka contributed better shooting statistics than Aron Baynes did. I think Serge Ibaka was shooting 51% from the field, 38% from three, 16 points a game, was getting more rebounds, was producing better stuff on defense. Serge Ibaka is apparently a huge mystery to Toronto Raptors. And again, I was wrong about it. I didn't think it would be a huge loss, but it's clear that Serge Ibaka is one of the missing pieces for the puzzle for the Toronto Raptors. A big who can actually shoot the three, who can actually do some work in the pick and roll, and it can be an elite level rim protector, fit the Raptors system very well. It's clear that the Raptors miss him. Serge Ibaka had a lot of way of getting his buckets. He could get it in close to the rim, had that nice mid-range jimmy from the elbow, also could shoot the three at a fantastic rate for a big. A fantastic rate for any player, really. And the Raptors really, really do miss that. Aron Baynes statistically was a toned-down version of Serge Ibaka, but it is just not coming off right now. And the Raptors, who, when they have their bigs on the floor struggle, need Serge Ibaka type players to protect the rim. And Serge Ibaka, if the team was struggling, you could rely on him to hit a big bucket to get the momentum going again. And Aron Baynes can't even get a wide open layup at the rim to fall in the recent games. And because of that, he hasn't played. He's gotten 0 minutes over the last few games, and it's deserved. He is not contributing to success for the Toronto Raptors. He is contributing more so to the demise of the Toronto Raptors when he is on the court. Now, is that relationship something you cannot fix? I don't think so. Maybe if you work with him in practice, in training, you can get him back up to an NBA level to participate for the Toronto Raptors. But right now, confidence is low for him, and he is not producing. And we just simply can't have him on the court at the moment. I think we should start trying to work him back into the lineup because, we have him. If we're not going to make a trade, we have him. We should use him. We should try to get the best out of him. But if it's clear that you can't get the best out of him, then sure. I don't see why you would have to play him, and therefore you don't play him. But if you're not going to play him, you really need to look for a trade for a proper big, because it is clear that the Raptors are missing some size, and they are missing some rebounding and missing points in the paint. And Serge Ibaka provided all those things, and we are missing him deeply. It really stings at this point that Serge Ibaka left, because the only reason we really couldn't afford to bring him back is because of the Giannis situation. We were saving our money to go for Giannis in the next offseason, but a couple weeks after Serge Ibaka leaves, Giannis signed his extension with the Milwaukee Bucks, and therefore we lost Serge pretty much for no reason at all. And it's very tough to see that now because the Raptors clearly miss him. They're clearly struggling. I start to wonder kind of if Giannis purposely waited that long to sign his extension, because teams like the Toronto Raptors, teams like the Miami Heat couldn't really go for any free agents because they were keeping their money saved up for the next offseason. So their teams therefore became inferior because Giannis waited that long to sign his extension with the Milwaukee Bucks. Maybe that was something on his mind. Maybe it wasn't, just something to consider there. So bottom line, based on what we've seen this season, yes, we miss Serge Ibaka. Aron Baynes isn't up to scratch. Alex Len was always going to be that backup guy. He is not up to scratch to be a starter in the NBA. The Toronto Raptors really should be considering making a move. I don't know what kind of bigs would be available. Just kind of off the top of my head, Hassan Whiteside is a guy who can be that rebounder, can be that rim protector, and he's currently getting no minutes for the Sacramento Kings because they already have Rashawn Holmes. They already have Marvin Bagley. They don't really need Hassan Whiteside. Maybe the Raptors can send some depth their way to the Sacramento Kings and pick up Hassan Whiteside. Maybe that would be an improvement. Can't really get much worse than what we've had already. Also, another guy, maybe you can look at JaVale McGee if his situation isn't quite right in Cleveland. Maybe the Toronto Raptors can make a move there. I think JaVale McGee would be a nice starter to have on the team. Still give Boucher more minutes in that big spot because of the way Boucher's playing. But JaVale McGee, kind of like the role he had for the Lakers, even though he was the starter for the Lakers last season during the regular season, didn't get the most minutes in the big position, but was their starter, was the guy you could rely on to be that rim protector, be the rebounder, because it's clear the Raptors are missing that. As the Raptors sit 2-8 on the season, and bigs being one of the main positions that is causing a lot of faults for the Raptors and causing a lot of the demise of the Raptors, I'm sure there's other performances that aren't quite up to par for the Toronto Raptors, but we're clearly missing some height. We're clearly missing some presence at the rim, and at 2-8, I think that more and more, it's time for a trade to happen just to give the team, reignite the spark for the team, reignite something, because something is clearly off with this team. So just some little change could spell some good fortunes for the Toronto Raptors. Maybe a trade is just what they need. And if the trade happens, I think the trade needs to be for a proper center. So to round off, I was very wrong about Aron Baynes. I was very wrong about losing Serge Ibaka, but let me know all of your thoughts and opinions on this situation. Which kind of big do you think the Raptors should go after? Do you have any specific names in mind? And who would you trade to get that big for the team? Let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. But that wraps it up for me for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you are still here, please like the video. If you like and subscribe to Amateur Sports for more content just like this. I'm going to reiterate, live streaming is starting very, very soon on Amateur Sports. I've been teasing it a while, but in the next 7 days or so, we will definitely be up and running with the live stream. I hope to see some of you there enjoying some content. But at the end of the day, I believe what I say. If you disagree, that is okay. We'll see you again next time for another video.